Hello guys, this is Chandlika. Welcome to Learning Ladder of C language. In this tutorial, we are going to discuss about functions in C language. Yeah, there are two types of functions in C language. One is predefined functions and other one is user-defined functions. These predefined functions are defined and used by the defined and designed by the compiler designer and the C language founder. These predefined functions are we are directly used and implemented in our programming and the user-defined functions. These user-defined functions are defined by us, the program developer, based on the application requirements. The syntax to declare a function. First, the function starts with a return type. It may be a void, int, or float, double, character data types, and then followed by function name. Function name can be defined by the users. If suppose we are using an user defined function, if suppose we are in the position to use a predefined function, then directly we have to use a predefined function name and the curly braces. Inside these curly braces, we if we are required, we can pass and parameters with their respective data types. Suppose we are not in a requirement to pass a parameter, then we can give a function without any parameters and followed by the block. Inside this block, we are going to write an statements which we are required to execute in the program. At the end of the function, we have to specify the return type and the value to be returned to the function call. So before we are going for the example of these functions, first let me explain what is the return type, what is the requirement of this return type to the function, what are the return types are existed in C language. Here I specified the return types that are existed in C language to declare for the function. First is a void return type. Suppose we are declaring a function with a void return type, then we are not required to pass any return value to the function call. Next, the integer. Integer return type. If suppose we are use an integer as a return type to the function, then we are in the position to return an integer value to the function call. Next, the character. So if suppose we are declaring a return type as a character, we have to in the position to return a character value. Next, the float. Suppose we are using a float as a return type to the function, then we are in the position to return a float value. Suppose I am declare a return type as double, then we are in the position to return a double value to the function call. First, let we discuss a function without a parameters. So this is known as a if suppose a parameter, so if a function without a parameter, then it says that it is a zero argument function, sorry, zero parameterized function. Now let's see a program with the function. Before we are going to the function practically, first we have to know how to use a function in the C language. To use a function in the C language, then we have to know the three methods. One is function declaration, second function call, and function definition. So first, if suppose we are using a user-defined function in the program, in the sense, first we have to declare a function before a main function. Then if suppose we are in the position to use the methods in the function, in the sense, then we have to use function call. Next, in the third step, we have to declare and write and methods in a function definition. Functions are used in C language for repeated execution of a block of statements whenever we are required to execute a piece of code. By using these functions in C language, we can execute a piece of code whenever we are required to execute it. Now let's see the example with the functions. Here I'm written a small example by using a user-defined function in C language. Here I'm in the first statement and declare that void m and parenthesis. Here the void says that it's a return type and m is a function name. as I previously said, functions, so syntax is return type followed by function name and the parenthesis, curved parenthesis, crowd curved braces. So before a function is used in the program, first we have to declare a function before the main function. So for this reason, I'm declare a function that m before a main function to say to the compiler that I'm going to use this m function in the program. So to declare a function, the syntax is the return type and the function name followed by curly braces and the semicolon. This should be declared before a main function. So then here I am using a function call. Here in this function call, we are not required to specify a return type. So directly we can use a function name followed by the curly braces and end with a semicolon. So this type of declaration is known as a function call. So here I am calling in this m1 function to execute in this position. The third step, after the closing of this main function and declare and void m. This is a function definition. Here the function definition is defined by a return type followed by the function name and curly braces and opening parenthesis. Inside this parenthesis we are going to write a code which we want to require to execute when the function call is occurred in the C language. In this block I am written a printf statement to print welcome to the output screen whenever this function is called. First let me execute this program. So while executing this program we are getting welcome in the output screen. This is how, in the sense, when the function call is occurred in the main function, automatically this m1 method will be executed at this position. So this m1 function is declared here. So it comes, the control comes to this void main function. Inside this void main function, I am using a single statement, that is printf statement. Inside this printf statement, I am declared to print and welcome in the output screen. So by this, while m1 method is function is called, automatically this printf statement is executed and we are getting welcome in the output screen. This function definition can be written anywhere outside this main function. Suppose we are using a function before a main function, in the sense, then C compiler treat this function as one of the method of this main function. Now let's see what happens if suppose I am declare a main function, a function, use a different function within the main function. Now let me compile this program. So we are getting an error. The in main function doesn't accept or give some flexibility to the user to define a function within this main function. So it is a wrong method that we are declaring and user defined function in the main function. So the compiler won't accept this type of declaration. Now let's see what happens if suppose I am not declaring an function before the main function, in the sense, then the compiler will throws an error that the m was not declared in the scope. So as I previously said, the C compiler will execute a program from top to bottom. While it encoding from top to bottom, first line it reads an m function. So when it reads an m function, automatically C compiler throws an error. We are not declared any function name m previously to know that it is used in the program. So whenever we are using a function in the program, in the sense, first we have to declare a function before a main function. So this is how the function should be used in the C programming language. The next tutorial, let me discuss how the return type should be specified in the function and what value that we have to return to the functions and the parameterized functions in next tutorial video. Don't forget to subscribe to get an alert for the next tutorial video.